What is going on, you guys? What is going on? How we doing today? How we doing today? We're just going to be doing a little bit of some digital art for right now. Like I said, I am working on some scarce material right now, so we ain't going to do traditional until the next show. So for now, we just chilling. I want y'all to just get to know me. I get to know y'all. For those who are new to my Whatnot Live, mostly I just chill. I like to just mostly chill when the streams, but I know with Whatnot, hustle, bustle, sales, get the sales in, what I'm saying? But usually I like to just get to know y'all. For those who wants to follow and enjoy my art, um, like I said, I am a commission-based artist, so you can always still get sketch cards, art paper, 9x12s. Most is the size that I work on when it comes to my art papers. So you get 9x12 commissions. You can do digital commissions. You can get sketch cards. Mostly, I like to do sketch card commissions a lot. I do want to start doing blank covers. I've mostly done most of all my blank covers that I have so far, but those are very limited. So, and it'll be a while till I get some more covers there. But I always still do sketch cards for sure. I got plenty of sketch cards to do, and a lot of that stock there. So if you ever want to get some traditional artwork from me, sketch cards definitely will let y'all know. Now there are stuff that I already created in the shop. If you want to check out the shop, it is at the bottom right there. And I can always show y'all the cards and what it looks like and everything like that. But other than that, we're gonna go ahead and yeah. Once again, appreciate y'all for joining in. So yeah, mostly like I said, I'm just chilling, chilling and everything like that. Once again, I appreciate y'all. I'm just, and, just want to be on live, conversate with y'all for a bit. We are live on YouTube as well, so big shout out to YouTube. People appreciate those who's joining in. So what we're working on is a One Piece. This is one of the projects that I wanted to nail down and get started. Let me get this. Um, like I said, if y'all are interested in anything, let me know in the comment section. Other than that, we just chilling. I'm trying to do something, but it's not letting me do it. What's not letting me do it? What's not letting me do it? Why it's not letting me do it? Let's see. I'm gonna wait for some people to come in before we get to starting. Huh? What's going on? Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. Like I said, I really do appreciate y'all for joining in. We are going to do this project that I want to work on. I want to work on something right here. We calling it Zoro's loyalty, or like I said, I usually like to the quote that he used. Nothing happened, but I just want to go ahead and start the live with some good digital art, and y'all can see my process and how I do my work. Um, Eventually, like I said, sometimes I would do rough sketches like this on digital, and I just transfer it to the through the printer, and then I just draw it traditionally as well. But like I said, I'm running limited right now. I'm running out of stuff, and a lot of stuff is coming up to be no good no more. So I gotta rebuy, I gotta restock and rebuy some materials. So for now, for the past few lives, we did some digital pieces, but also we did some sketch cards as well, and one other live. So I really do appreciate people who chimes in and asks some questions of what I do and everything like that and what I offer. So I really do appreciate that. You know, um, this is just one of the projects I wanted to do for my bust, especially this is like what I like to do for covers as well. So, but I'm gonna be the guy that's gonna be like, you know what? I'm in the game of digital, so I want to show y'all how my process is when it comes to digital artwork. So, so I really do appreciate y'all for that. Yeah. So hope everybody's having a good evening. Should be night by now. Should be night. All right. Let's see. I just had it too. All right, there you go. Ah, my other thing is over there. Go through here. Hold on, guys, on YouTube. Let me get to y'all over here. All right, let's get y'all over here on YouTube, nice and ready. All right, can you draw Naruto? I already draw Naruto already before. You can actually see it in my short of that. It'll be a while till I go back onto Naruto art pieces. This is amazing, yo. Thank you so much, special. Appreciate you. Like I said, I had to pull up the YouTube live. So sorry if I missed your comments. So sorry I have to get off. But have a great night. Yeah, you too. You too. I appreciate you for stopping by. Appreciate you for stopping by. Like I said, we're gonna be on live for like about at least hour and a half to 2 hours. So I really do appreciate y'all for that. But wanted to stick around. And if you like One Piece, I appreciate it. And what's your favorite One Piece character? But yeah, if you do have some Naruto character in mind, I would put it on the project table. You know what I'm saying? I do like some Naruto art pieces, so I usually will be doing Naruto here and there. But the next Naruto piece that I have in mind, I want to do Itachi. So he's the actual next Naruto project I'll be doing. My last Naruto project, I was doing Naruto Sage Mode, which you will see right here in a second. He's actually right here. And this is the one I did. I did him in Sage Mode as well as the Nine Tail Beast on the other side when he was facing pain. So this is just the pain version or I just call it Naruto, and then in parentheses the Sage version. So, but I do want to do an Itachi one next, though, for sure. So Itachi, I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I might do it exactly how like Ace is. Usually, sometimes I'll do maybe like a split version, but usually sometimes like I'll put a meaning to the piece. I'll put the character on one side of the half of the piece, and then I'll put something that's very memorable and what makes the character very special. So say for instance with Ace, saying I got his side, his part of himself on this side, and on the right hand side, I have the sake that Luffy, him, and Sabo drunk to make this little pack that they had in the anime, and then as well, of course, the white bear logo, or the pirate symbol for the white bear pirates, and then of course the fruit that the devil fruit of his. I can't remember the devil fruit. Sometimes I can't always remember all the devil fruits. I used to remember all the tail beasts and stuff like that. I think I might do the tail beasts later in the future too, as a little set project from Naruto. Just do all the tail beasts from there. I think that's really dope. So start with Gara, of course, and then make my way downtown. So like I said, I'm just enjoying myself, having fun. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Jim, what's going on? How you doing? Welcome in, welcome in. Appreciate you for joining into the live. Like I said, we are live on whatnot as well as YouTube, so I really do appreciate y'all for giving, just dropping in, saying if you want to stay for all the way to the end, we are going to be on here for 2 hours. So if you want to just enjoy, sit back, kick back, what I'm saying, get yourself a drink, some snackies. I usually have music playing, but we'll get it back. We'll get it back right later in the future, though. But in the meantime, I hope that I can hear at least from my ears. He said, "You good? That's good. That's what I like. I like when y'all good and alive. What I'm saying? Make sure y'all all right, all right." So, like I said, for those who are new and don't know who I am Jr. I am a comic book creator as well as a this pop nostalgia artist as well. So I like to do a lot of classic old cartoons, anime, and I'm trying to branch to movies and other places like video games and stuff like that. There, I do some plethora of video game characters as well, but I want to get more in depth with it. But I just draw what I feel and what I like and everything like that. And so with that, being said, it's all I do. That's what I do. But I do love my nostalgia. Yes, I have to leave soon, but I wanted to watch you again. Oh no, appreciate it. Like I said, it's not like I said. I always make sure to post this. Mostly my fan art. I don't wait to post my fan art, so you'll get to be able to see it through story and the process video. And of course, these videos are unedited. So when I go on live on YouTube, you can get the unedited version if you want to chill and enjoy my whole process and the conversation, or like I said, you want to just watch the story and see what it came out to look like. I'm all right with either of those options. Mm. But how did y'all find me though? Did y'all find me through For You page, or y'all been following me for a while, or somebody recommended y'all to this area over here? Yeah, Shan. So for those who don't know, like I said, I am a digital artist. I do that 70% because I do not only my fan artwork, but I also do my comic books and stuff like this digitally too. Started digital in 2018. Just never look back. She never look back. I do enjoy it. Like I said, I've been traditional for quite some time since I was young, but I just fell in love with digital, and it not only the reason why I just never go back to traditional until whenever I like to do sketch cards or some blank covers, which is actually my newfound love. Um, what I do is I stick around that area of doing stuff like I said, sketch cards and blank covers. Sometimes I'll do classic old. Not I use 9 by 12 paper, and I draw what I transfer through digital. Like if I wanted to do this traditionally, I'll just train. Of course, just transfer through like I said, through a printer, and then draw it again. There's most times that I've done that before, so and it's really dope too because someone bought my Tundra a while back when I transferred it over digitally and then inked it up and stuff like that. So it was really cool that it was someone that actually bought that too. It was really dope, really dope. You know what I'm saying? So, but I always tell people I am working with limited stuff traditionally, so that's why you don't see me do enough of it. But I love that people are patient and still love my work and stuff like that too. Um, I want to make sure this hand is good, nice perspective in it. You said most of the time watch the story, so you might the edited version. Yeah, so that's what I said. I will probably edit some of my videos eventually, but it's just when it comes to whatnot, I just prefer the raw versions of it. So you can get the full experience of my whole process because in that time frame I usually talk about my process and and how I draw my characters and how I do anatomy and stuff like that. So sometimes I teach as I go, so I try not to edit too much stuff. But usually on TikTok I'll live stream there and then I'll edit from there. I'll definitely edit, but yeah. Yeah. So I've always wanted to do this piece when it came down to One Piece. I feel like this is a very powerful um, moment in Zoro's character, and I think a lot of people who enjoy Zoro or appreciates just One Piece all will love this piece here because it's what solidified that Zoro's that guy. He's that guy. He's loyal. You know what I'm saying? And you know he'll sacrifice for anything, everything for his captain. You know what I'm saying? And this just shows how far it goes than just two guys that met each other and he was almost on the execution block. You know what I'm saying? And it just showed how much loyalty Zoro has no matter what. And there's sometimes where he had to check Luffy a couple times. You know what I'm saying? It was a couple times he had to check Luffy, but at the end of the day, it solidified Luffy to be a better man as well as just to show how strong Zoro's resolve is and his conviction. He said, I gotta go make. I might come back later when you are live. Oh yeah, like I said, I will be on for only like an hour and a half to 2 hours. So if you're in that time frame, I should be at like 11 o'clock. I should be done. So yeah. Yep. So, like I said, I am a commission-based artist. I don't really have as much that I do freely because with traditional, I don't like that stuff sitting in my house. I rather get rid of the stuff that I make more than just keeping it. You know what I'm saying? So, because if that was the case, I would love to just like make prints or canvases and then just hang it on the wall and stuff like that. I prefer those stuff. I know a lot of people prefer different things, but me, I prefer like a nice good couple prints and then hanging them to the wall. And mostly I like to hang my own work. I do have like a little spot of a collection, not in here though, but near my. Am I live tomorrow? Yeah, I will be live tomorrow. I'm gonna be back on Whatnot. So tomorrow on Whatnot we'll be doing sketch cards. So like I said, today we're just doing this digital piece right here because like I said, I don't have nothing right now to kind of really have me draw something, right now. And then I already did this live. I already scheduled this like since last week. So yeah, it's mostly just commission stuff. So if y'all ever want commissions or anything like that, it's always in the shop. It's right there for you guys. So I can pin something for you as well. So say for instance, I'll just pin me sketch cards and stuff like that for right now. So like I said, I do charge 5.75 for 5 sets. Great quality work. Um, you can either choose from, like I said, this is one of the pieces that I've done for my sketch card. This is one of my favorite pieces right here. Roz from the Wild Robot, love it. And I know some people was like, one person said something about the back. I don't know if that is something that is very meaningful to collectors. I'm not sure. I don't know. That's my first time. I'm still new to Whatnot, so I don't know if the back matters to y'all or not. But I guess because I was like, as an artist, the bleed through of it, you want to see what the paper quality. I use Bristle. I use Strathmore, just like any other artist. I don't use any other paper to do sketch cards. I use exactly those straight up Strathmore Bristle paper. Um, Hold on, let me see if I got any which cards over here. And I can show y'all some pieces that I've done sketch card wise, and I'll show you someone who commissioned sketch cards as well. 'Cause I think it's been a while since I showed y'all uh, the commission piece. So uh, I will be shipping these later on and stuff. So that is very awesome too. So I'll be able to ship their stuff off. So I'm just gonna go ahead and show you, one by one, just give you a quick look at the stuff we do. So usually I like to do quick sketches, like a good nice 5 minute per sketch. When it comes down to spin the wheel, I do this like spin the wheel event uh, on my Whatnot, and yeah. If I'm live on Whatnot, I'll be live on YouTube. But yeah, I will be doing more of these. So you just get sketch cards. That's all, because it's like a 5 minute process. You just we spin it, it lands on something, or if somebody wants to choose to pick a character, we draw. What I'm saying, we'll draw it. But yeah, if somebody wants to be like, oh, I want this, like cool $5, sketches or whatever like that, we'll do like a cool, rundown on it. So like I said, these are the characters that we did in the quick sketch live event. So this is really dope. So we did Hitman Reborn, Night Grade Ninja, Reincarnated as a Slime, Jackie Chan Adventures, and we did Spider Man, Miles Morales, and we did Andre from Class of 3000. So we did a really good haul for 6 cards right there for a good hour. Um, then I go ahead and show you some of the other cards. Hold on, let me not make sure the commissions are not smashed together. So I'm going to show you the commissions as well as the cards that I mostly just make on the side right there. So I'll show you all the cards that is available in the shop right now. So these are all the cards right here. Some of them are sets. You got Angelica, you got Reptar, you got Saitama from One Punch Man, you got Judge Harvey, you got Popeye, you got The Thing, Iron Fist, Danny, you got Man Thing, Pink Panther, Dara, Scooby Doo, Ahsoka, Smurfette, you got Judge Dredd, you got Nami, you got Battle Beast, you got Anakin, you got Guts from Berserk. You got Elektra, and I did, of course, Roz. Whoa, Roz is mine, actually. What I'm saying? Ain't no one taking Roz from me. No one's taking Roz from me. And then until the new movie comes out, then yeah, it might be up for grabs. But that I do like Roz. Um, I do like that movie very, very much. Um, but hopefully, I don't know. I might restart redoing Roz again. And here are the commission pieces that I got from a fellow artist, Bane. He got 50, he got about, I think it's 10. He was gonna do 15. I was like, hold up now. 10 is the max. You know what I'm saying? I love some money, but hey, listen. But this was really good. This was really wholesome fun. So this is one of these are the characters that he commissioned for the sketch cards here. Um, yeah, you know what I'm saying? This was really fun. Very, very fun. Some of these characters were out of my bounds. I've never done these type of characters before. So it was fun. It was really fun to do. I really did enjoy it. And I appreciate him for giving me those challenging characters that I've never done. And then at least I can say, yo, I did them in my style, love them, and hey, keep it going, keep it going. So I've done a lot of over the last few months to almost, it should be about, I think, 7 months now, 7 to 8 months, maybe 9, maybe up to a year. I did sketch cards, and I think I've done a lot for it. I really did appreciate everything from each of my moments in that. Mm, mm. Because we use symmetrical, it's just wise and smart to do it, to keep using it. Man, my brother-in-law loves Zoro. I told him about this project. And he was like, "Oh yes." He was like, "Oh yes." I was like, "He is there." I probably might do it. It depends on the like how powerful the piece is to me. I definitely would do it traditionally. This definitely, I would do it traditional, but I rather finish it up digitally first and then do the traditional. How y'all doing today? How y'all doing today? I don't know if I want to do a dip in the nose or just keep it like that. Nice on classic traditional point. Hmm. I like that. I like that. I like that. Watch when I put the detail in this thing, but gonna be naughty, naughty. I don't know if I want the shirt to kind of like have this big chunk or maybe stretch it over here a little bit. See what it look like first. And then if it don't look all right, we'll. Yeah, there we go. I like that. I like that. I like this. Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-mm. And we got some collabs coming through. I've been trying to get my boys on here as well. And hopefully, like I said, we'll be able to y'all be able to see me live with them. And we set ourselves up a little collab and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna I have one that wants to do Absolute Batman with me. I already done Batman, so they're gonna do their part of the Batman on the side, and then we're gonna go and I'm gonna be doing I'm gonna do Harley Quinn. Yeah, I'm gonna run with Harley Quinn in this particular one. I just like her design and stuff like that, so I definitely want to do that. Okay, nah, no inner cheekbones, no inner cheekbones, no. Oh, excuse me. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think I don't need the. I'm gonna keep the symmetrical ruler up for just right now, at least for right now. Let me keep it up. Let's go ahead and add some blood lines there. Kind of want to separate it. I want to start reincarnating slime actually though. But like I said, we got projects that we got to do. We got to knock them down. We got to knock them down. Add some little detail here and there. I know how we do. We don't play. We don't play. There we go. There we go. Let me fix y'all a little bit over there on YouTube. Y'all looking at a crazy angle. Y'all looking at a crazy ass angle, boy. I'm gonna try to straighten it out just for you guys over there. Mm. Drink some good coffee. Some good coffee. Mm. All right, so now that we got everything, match those together. Oops, hold on. I lost my joint. Okay, there we go. All right. Hold on, I got a favorite this actually. I got a favorite this instrumental mix. Heck yeah! So we can get in the future we can go and do some what you call for this. You know, the one thing I like about One Piece is that when you draw characters in your style, it's like certain shows and certain things just push it out further. Makes it you really like people could be like, oh, I know who you drew, but that's just like yo, like yeah. That's why I love people's style. I love just exploring people's different way of how they do stuff. Yeah, what up, P? What's going on with you, girl? Appreciate you for joining in. I was like, well, where's she going? Who really I'm not saying I'm playing favorites here, but I know who I can always have company with. Like I said, we do need a live stream together for sure because you just can't be sitting on the sidelines no more. Not with me. I won't let you. I can't wait to show my brother-in-law this. He loves One Piece, man, and he loves Zoro. And I said, what is I was thinking of a piece that is very meaningful. And before I even told him, I said you could do. He was like, I believe I brought it up or he brought it up. I can't remember. But he was like, man, do the one with no. He was thinking at first, but then I said I already knew what I wanted to do, but I just wanted to see where his mindset was when I wanted to do something with Zoro that speaks volumes in the piece. You know what I'm saying? And people could be like, I fuck with that. I remember that. And he was like, "Oh, yeah, that's the good one." Um, there's another one. I believe Zoro and King. I do want to do a piece like that too, but I want to get further in the anime, or at least in the manga, and then at least enjoy the anime. You said we need to do a call or something. Oh yeah, definitely we got to. Bree was supposed to get with me with the or what she wanted to know about what I got going for Ruin and Ravi, but she ain't never got back to me. Shame on her. But I'll be on live tomorrow again. After this live, I'm gonna make a schedule out for tomorrow at 8:30 again. And so hopefully we get some people in here that wants to live stream and stuff like that. Show they work, I show mine. You know what I'm saying? Like I tell you guys, I'm a commission based artist. I'm not gonna really. I'm just gonna be drawing what I like. I understand. I know some people understand. By that. And I really appreciate y'all. But I used to do requests, but it doesn't pan out a lot, So it's just at this point, a few of my mutuals like, man, just draw what you want to draw, at this point because not a lot of people is going to get active and say this is what I would like to see, blah blah blah. So I'm gonna just go by, but I do know what an anime show that I do want to watch that is new. I mean, I do want to draw that is relatively new for me, and that's Reincarnate as a Sword. What I'm saying? I want to do Ren. I want to do Teacher, and I want to do Reen at the same time because I just love that little duo and stuff. A mentor to their student. Love it. Because at first I was like, I need to watch some anime, but I was like, I didn't want to watch something that was, I've already, watched. But when I saw that, I was like, oh, really? Like reincarnated as a sword? I don't know. But it was good, and I'm glad that they're making a second season that's coming out this year. So that's really good. So I came in at the right time. So I want an old memory size something else hybrid to be all mysterious to the characters. Oh, hold on, let me go back up. You said, when the main lead always finds a stranger and they'd be all mysterious. Oh, okay. I got what you mean. So they're just like, what are you doing in the dark? Just painting out from the shadows? I was waiting for you. I was waiting for you. Really? Oh, this is gonna look so badass. You think that would be awesome? I kind of think I was already gonna probably might do that for the character we got, collabing with. Uh and I feel like bringing Elena in that moment of mystery, I think would be great. So I've been thinking of different ways of how to. You said like imagine your character be like them, and mine be like hell no. Oh, okay. So we're gonna be doing like a whole complete different character. What's so funny? I already did that with Guy and Talia. Like shit no. So we could actually savor it. We could actually savor that moment for the three characters. But I think she'll be a great asset to be the peacekeeper keeper between Anya and Talia because I want her and Talia just to be at each other's throats in the crossover that I will be doing, and just want each other at each other's throats. You feel me? I don't know if I want to put this in the same folder layer or not. The background. You know what? I'll leave it. 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 Yeah. So let's go ahead and just hopefully this don't go to nothing. Hopefully this don't go to nothing. But let's delete it. Okay, thank God. All right, let's go ahead and duplicate. Look at that watercolor effect. But that's a little too. That's a little too bold. I don't want it that. I don't want it that bold. So I think about a good 60, 60. Yeah, about a good 60. Now that's just me adding the water edge effect to the piece. But I love my I like what I usually like to do is I would keep my art piece like this usually, but when I found out the water edge effect does that, and then when I apply color to it, now there's a few artists that I've noticed that does this exact same method that I do, and I'm telling you, y'all be looking at color like, hold on, why does it pop out so much? It's because they duplicate it and they put that water edge effect on top of the line work, so it's kind of like another coat of line work, and then the it's kind of like it's like the earth, you know what I'm saying? You got your surface, you got your earth, and then you got another layer, and boom, 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 so on and so forth. So that's how it's usually we do it. But if I were to, like, say for instance, if I were to amp it up the opacity a little bit high, like around 80. Now the reason why I don't do 80 is because it smudges sometimes, depending on the details, it'll smudge the line art. So for right now, it looks good. It looks good. But it'll smudge the line art the higher you go. So that's why I try not to go to up to 100. I go between at least 40 to 60 if the piece can manage it. So for Zorro, it can manage up to 80 because it doesn't look like the detail. So if I go in, you see how it doesn't look pixelated. It's nice and very clean. It pushes the line art out and stuff like that. And then it shows all my little details that I did so far in the piece. That's why I love the water catch effect. And depending on how, and because of my line weight and how I do my lines, it also makes a big difference too. So I work with the turnip brush. The turnip brush I don't use default brushes. I used to, but how I usually ink, I don't use. The only pencil I use is this, of course, a darker pencil brush. Love that type. I love that graphite type of material. So I'm glad that Clip Studio Paint has that, and I usually just use a turnip brush. I used to use. Let me see. Hold on. I think the brush is still here because this is a default brush. I used the I used the G Pen because it was very smooth, but it wasn't like the real G Pen. So, but eventually, the G Pen was just so stiff in its when I did my strokes. So when I used the turn up brush, I loved how it can go from thick to thin at a drop of a dime of how much pressure I apply to it, and that solidified my style even further to new heights. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say, man, digital. The reason why I cater digital a lot more is because it showed me a greater path in my art. Not only me solidifying my comic books, my characters, my style, my studies. You know what I'm saying? So traditional still got that love in me. I still got that dog in me. I, you know what I'm saying? Still got that dog in me. But I just fell in love with digital a lot more because of what it did in the process ever since 2018. So it just built a whole big foundation as who I am as an artist. So that's why I prefer my stuff, you know what I'm saying? But I do still do traditional, guys. Don't worry about that. I like to do, like I said, the I do 70% digital, 30% traditional. And in that 30%, I do sketch cards, blank covers, as well as 9x12s. I have 9x12 files, those basic sketchbooks or whatever like that. It's good for like watercoloring and especially for my inking and markers. So what I usually like to do is I'll transfer what I draw digitally, print it over, and then I just take a light board and then just go and just do it through that. So y'all still get the same. You get the more amped up effect of how I do my digital work just through traditional. But you just get a little more oomph to it digitally though. That's all. So let's go ahead and go to our flats. And let's go to our line works real quick. We're gonna go ahead and take our nice handy dandy selection tool. And we're just gonna make sure everything is grabbed. Yep. So I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm not gonna do Zoro just yet. I'm just gonna go ahead and just coat him in a nice gray. Colors look amazing right here. Let me tone it down just a little bit more light gray. Oops, it didn't hit my booker tool. There we go. Maybe a little bit right there. Yeah, perfect. Let's go ahead. Let's not lock that, but lock the file itself or the folder itself. We take our rough sketch back out, and then we can go ahead and start doing the line work here. Uh, yeah. Best if I just, I'd rather just do that so I can see what it looks like. And then we go to backgrounds. Boom. Clock in on our first layer. I'm going to use the symmetric ruler. Why not? Because it makes things 10 times faster because it's a bust piece. Now, these are what I call bust piece or split pieces. So usually, like I said, I like to do splits like this Naruto piece here. Um, as well as like the ace here where the dual split with a nice little section in the center, and then usually I just have like the one little split line. For Zoro is he's just gonna have the basic, has a whole entire piece here. It's been a while since I did sequential pieces. I need to start doing that again. So like I said, like I did Raleigh and Huey Freeman from Boondocks. I did a nice little extra something in the background, for Raleigh. I got that money, dollar bills, y'all. You know what I'm saying? And then I got the Boondocks name, and then of course I have the silhouette of their line art. That's my new way of doing my art now. When I do my posters, so when I do prints, these are just how they come out. I will be continuing in my Invincibles. Of course, I did Conquest. I did also boom boom. I'll go ahead and grab them real quick so y'all can go ahead and check it out. And like I said, I did Thrag here, Adam Eve here. Hold up now, she bright. But also I did Alan the Alien. And so like I said, Conquest. I want to do Battle Beast so much, but because I want to do them, I do these characters in my style. It's hard to try to figure out how I want to do Battle Beast. I have some success here and there, but like I said, I like to come up with my own designs when it comes to those characters, especially comic book characters. Definitely comic book characters. But like I said, I do anime. I do want to start continuing on. I also do hands as well. I'm practicing on trying to do hand portraits. If y'all know who Todd Beats is, dude's like a brother, man, and he did comic book versions of characters' hands. I love the idea, man. Told him, I said I love the idea. I said you gonna see some art pieces, and he said go for that shit. So it was really awesome, and it helped me better with hands too because I used to I suck at hands. You feel me? And so I think I got some of them over here. Hold on, I think they'll get the JPEG. Oh, let me see. Yeah. So I got like Avatar. Let me go ahead and just take them all and my best work. So the jabber is one of my best works for the hands. This one was the hardest. She's just trying to get his. Oh man, just to get his what you call it was tough as hell. I was just like, and I did this all on live too. So a lot of people seen the struggle of me doing that, but it came out really good. I really did appreciate people who enjoyed it. I did Rudo as well. So I did Rudo's right hand and I did Jabber's left hand. So like, if you ever wanted to be like, hey, I want this print. You know what I'm saying? At least you got like if you wanted to hang it on two different sides of your couch or you have like a window, you want to hang it on two different sides, or if you got like a man cave or a girl cave, you can have those two sides on there. You know what I'm saying? So I have that. You know what I'm saying? I think of these. I think of these things. I think of these things, guys. I think of these. I think of these. Yes. I think of these. I definitely think of these. All right, let's see. I want to kind of do like let's do this color here. So we only need let's start it over. Yeah, we only need a symmetric ruler just to get this. And the rest of everything else we're gonna be doing by hand. Let's see if I put some nice little angle to it. You said respect the original artist that has to do that all the time. Yes. She has both of them has to do it, and definitely appreciate their design. They always had cool designs. Especially her as an artist. You know what I'm saying? I did check out one of her lives actually on IG. She does go live on IG. Watching some got you out the good stuff, man. It was really awesome. But don't know what in the world they're saying because it's all in Japanese. They speak completely in Japanese, so it's like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this shit tight. That shit hot. I don't know what you're saying, but that shit hot. I'm like, yo, y'all don't got an interpreter or like a translator or something? You know the people that say I learned Japanese through anime, but they only learn keywords or words that are repeated. I'd be like, go ahead and jump on this live and see if you can translate for me. See if you can translate for me, bro. What? It didn't work. Maybe because you ain't pick up a book. But I'm just poking fun, guys. Don't know. You can't learn a lot. That's how people learn English in Sesame Street. You feel me? But that's a learning show. That's the biggest difference. You feel me? That's a learning show. Yeah, that is meant to learn. Do they make anime shows like Sesame Street that you can actually truly actually learn? Those need to be put out more. Excuse me, I had coffee, so I don't know if I'm burping all up in it. Yeah. She never shows what she's doing at all. All I hear is pencil marks. Yeah, because I was like, we're gonna see some work, work being done. Because it literally just be like her just sitting there talking. But it's all cool though, you know. I don't mind it. After everything she had to endure through social media, I'd be like, do you? Definitely do you. But don't even stress it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to do the what you call it through here. Mm. So yeah, let me just go ahead and erase this. I'm just gonna add it to the line art. But we're gonna separate it though. So let's go ahead and ink that up. I don't know if that's a little too light. I don't know if it's too light or not, but I think it's okay. Let's bring it down a little bit so we can get those angles. Let's just go back and put that sketch back up. Make sure I'm on my ink tool. Okay, there we go. There we go. Hmm. But hope y'all doing all right. Appreciate y'all for joining in. Like I said, I am a commission based artist, so if you ever want a commission or anything like that, let me know. In the meantime, I do make these pieces digitally into prints and I add them to my online store. If you are curious about my sketch cards, I can show y'all once again what they look like. Just let me know. Don't stay quiet. Keep talking. Let's do it. But I hope I do catch one of her lives again. But this time I'll play some music at the same time. And then watch her just draw and then do my thing. I'm gonna do my own thing. Oops, what am I doing? My own thing. All right, let me go ahead and where's that other color that I put? Yeah. I got some other markers that I also didn't read and they were water based. Oh, I know that sucks. That's like me sometimes. I don't reach. I went ahead and went grocery shopping last time, and then I picked up some peanut butter, and didn't look at it that was unsweetened peanut butter. And I was like, for someone who draws and does a lot of details, I damn sure don't look at other detail shit. Crazy work, right? But don't bash me. Oh yeah, I feel that. I get overwhelmed too. Makes me do rash and impulsive decisions. I just gotta be that guy that just has to take a minute and let me come back to it. But I know there's certain things that you just can't. You gotta think on the fly. But I'm like, nah, you ain't gonna force me to do that shit. You either be patient and see greater results, or you get what you get. Now that I did this piece, I can actually do this on my brother's wall. If you want to get this on his wall, because I got his projector and actually I can get this markered up on his wall and stuff. Heck yeah. I was gonna do the Straw Hats logo, but I was like, I felt like Luffy's hat would have been more. It's more important because the whole crew knows how important his hat is to him. So I chose to do that. Let's see. All right, let's go ahead and do Kuma. Oops. What are all right, follow mule. I don't know why it sent me to the wiki page. Let's see. Okay, I guess this is the. Ooh, no, this one's actually more close in detail, so I'll use this one. Oops, start that over. Oh no, I was just must have been in pencil. Yep, in pencil. I was like, nah, I had to be in pencil probably. Yes, it's on one too. It's a little bandana. Oh, oh yeah. His bandana for sure, definitely. But I was more like Luffy, like how the crew knows that It's very important to him. But yeah, that bandana has been with Zoro for a very long time, but the beginning of beginnings. So yeah, we know the sentimental value to that as well. But in this particular piece, we're on the like I said, Zoro's loyalty to Luffy and his devotion. I wouldn't use the word devotion because it sounds like, yeah, he'll no matter what. Because there is times where Zoro, that he had to check Luffy because he overstepped, especially like in the beginning, when it came to Usopp, and what Luffy said was just out of line. You know what I'm saying? He had to check that boy. That's how far Zoro is, man. That's how far Zoro is. That's why like Zoro's one of the best characters ever written. Here we go. I don't know if I wanted to just do the. You said don't remember. It's been so long. Oh yeah, yeah, no doubt about that. I ain't expecting y'all to remember every single thing about what's been going on and with the gang, with the Straw Hat gang and everything. Trying to get that news. But getting the hat was a little difficult. I don't know if how I want to do it. Tricky. That's tricky. Hmm. Hmm. Maybe put that a little dent right there near the lip. Hmm. Let me see if I can get the hat first, and then we'll. So I feel like if I get the hat first, then we will be on a something with what we got. And then we can do a nice we can definitely do a nice version of the what you call it, of the face. Nice guide. Definitely a nice guide. Definitely a nice guide. All right. So first, what we're gonna do is we're gonna just go ahead and I think I might keep the I think I might keep the we'll just figure out a side of the face. I don't know. Trying to see how far it might go for Kuma. Or maybe because how his face is turned a little bit, I don't really have to do much. Maybe about like this angle. And then what we can do, I don't know why I did that separately. Stupid me. Then we'll go ahead and take a guide and we'll map it out much better than what we already did. Get his nose there, his eyes there. Boom, there we go. And then in this phase, we can start doing his lips, see how it goes, you know? And then I come in with some, what you call it there? Maybe push the lips up a little bit more. Um, hmm. Hmm. Looks pretty good, right, guys? Looks good. Looks good. Nothing too crazy. And then, like I said, we're gonna put some shading over here anyway. That's gonna be over the hat or over him, stuff like that. So I'm gonna take that out of the way. Let's go ahead and bring this down, and then we go ahead and I'm gonna go with a thinner line. Like pushing it out, pushing it in is what I needed to do. There we go. Yeah, pushing it out, pushing it in was yeah, it was the way. Much better. And like I said, most of this is just going to be cased in shadow. So I'll go ahead and He ain't really have a face expression in the lips, so we're just gonna keep it basically the same. Add some details and some. Like I said, we're just gonna do over here too. And we're just gonna top it off basically kind of like at an angle where it is around the ball. So now he has his own little section there. Oh man, don't forget his hair. I know I put line work already in it, but it keeps my mind to think about it and just like, okay, don't forget that I put, details in the line. So then I take my whites and then on there. I think I did his hair a little too much on the side. Yeah, I think I did a little too much on the side. Maybe like bring it back a little. No, because I think he has hair that overlaps past his shoulders. So, but I feel like I know I'm gonna go over a little exaggerated with it, but I feel like I need to put hair in the back of his, like literally in the back. I just feel like it just adds that great detail to it. Like, see, it just pushes it out a lot more. Just so much negative space right there. I feel like, yeah, putting that hair behind him is really extraordinary too. Like I said, I'm still bad doing hands, guys. So don't worry about me. I'm bad at doing hands. Don't shoot the messenger. Message. Oops, my bad, guys. I forgot to do the because I forgot they don't go like that. It actually closes off right here to make the what you call it. Woo, woo. Ah, you hear that? Working. Work, 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 work. Rihanna. Look at that. Usually for background, I just put it all in one layer. All in one layer. The colors, the line work. If I have to do line work in it. Oops. Let's get that tool back. Oopsie. Yeah, there we go. Let's go ahead and lock that down. Just like I said, we could just do Zoro. All right, let me go ahead and get some of these images. I need to actually delete some of the stuff off my computer, off my little file. And save an image from Zoro so we get those correct colors. Let's go over here, go to downloads. There we go. Might as well just start with here. Ooh, I don't like that leakage. Let's make sure we don't have any more. I think we're good. Right, yeah, we're good. Let's make sure that we lock that so we don't accidentally color in it. All right, there we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Like I said, there's not really much to his body, so it's only like literally like three colors we're mostly going to be looking on. So, which is great. And then all we gotta do is just apply the skin tone. That's it. And then we apply the blood. But we'll do that on top of everything. There we go. Let me just make sure. Get the rundown of it. Yeah. Okay. But actually, no. I'll go ahead and add this to it as well. Let's go to our color we had here. I don't know. It's kind of hard to actually. Mm, mm, I think I know what I need. I think I know what I want to do. So let's go ahead and just fill this out. There we go. And I think what I want to do here is just bring it down just a tad bit. Maybe 90. Take the eraser tool. Go for it soft. Ooh, your boy nice with it. Your boy nice with it. Give me props, give me props, give me props, give me props, give me props. And then this one we're gonna, and that one we gotta do by ourselves, separately. Let's go to a gray for the background so we can see what's up. And then there we go. That's what it looks like. Just like what it looks like in the show. Gonna clean up one more time with the whoa, we don't need you no more. Go back to the rough. Make sure some of these colors don't seep out. And let's go ahead and go to convert. Convert that, take that out, put this in here. Change that filter to noise effect. Boom. Yeah, you know I love it. I'm gonna go ahead and put a layer here. And I'm pretty sure I'm probably just gonna do the same color of the level of they use for the blood here. This time we'll see if I can use my wand tool for it. But you see how I just all that? Yeah, I'd rather just use the just go the regular traditional way. That's just making more room to clean up stuff. Like literally more room to clean up. Once again, I appreciate y'all for joining in. Appreciate y'all for sharing the live as well. Really does help an artist out. Oh, hold on, Danny. Danny, quick is yeah. I did this sweet ace blade drawing for Danny. Man, just a big. I'll show you the grayscale version of it though. But ooh, ooh. My bad, guys. I was, yeah, I was. I forgot to. Matter of fact, I forgot to put y'all on charge when I did this. When I was going live. I've got to put the charger on. There you go. But yeah, did this nice. I didn't drop any. I didn't drop it yet, but had incredible fun doing this. Really awesome. Ace Blade. This is kind of like the hint to his preview to Ace Blade issue number 10, and really dope. Really dope. I'm glad he liked it. Glad he liked it. Yeah, I just wanted to give my support. You know, right now I can't buy issue 10 at the moment, but or add to the fund of the Kickstarter. But what I can do is just put my effort in my work and use it to like, yo, you're doing a great job, and I love drawing your character, and support by giving a tribute piece. Those to me, those means a lot when someone draws my character, just as much as you like, helping funding the campaign or buying the comic and stuff like that. Really does appreciate the definitely really helpful. Being part of the brand, being part of the movement, and not waiting on nobody else. You don't hesitate. You just be like, hey, I want to support it. Get at it. Oopsie. Oops, what am I doing? Hold on, I didn't mean to hit the eyedropper. All right, let's go over here. So we're gonna have to apply some color to this. I don't like that color. It's very, someone peed on white. I do not like that. Did not like that. There we go. Much better. Much better. Much better. Because that other color I just picked from. They was like, yo, huh? Like, huh? So this is my second. Actually, I did a lot of One Piece art pieces. A lot of projects from One Piece. I'm not even gonna kid you. I did almost over like 10 in my brief time of learning digital and improving on my style to where we're at now. This is actually the third to fourth Zoro piece I worked on. So I work on a lot of One Piece pieces. A lot of One Piece art. Now I don't do big extravagant like crazy pieces. That's for my characters. I do that stuff for my characters, like those bigger illustrations where two of my characters are sitting on a city building, and then you just got a whole detail build, city. Where they're looking at it, like I do those type of details and that type of artwork with my characters, hands down, hands down. So yeah. Oh, I'm gonna stretch. Oh. I think that's. Oh no, I forgot that one part too. Hold on, guys. I've got that other one. All right, where's the? All right, I did put it on there. So what I'll do is just take that out. I've got the blood side on this part. There we go. I was like, why is this so negative over here? That's why. Mm, whoa. Mm, no, what are you doing? You know, let's just do it like this. Let's take that away, add that back, create a selection, and then do it that way. Just add a little bit of gradient to it. No, I cancel that. Keep that though. And then we'll take this one, convert it, we'll do grayscale. No, I don't like that one. Hold on. Huh? What? Why does it look like that? Maybe because let's see. No, that's why it looks like that. Hold on. Yeah, let's delete that. Let's just mesh this together. So we just get it as one. Yeah, I guess it's like that. It's a weird way of grayscaling it. I don't know if I want to do a purple shade. Let's see how it turns out. I think for this one in particular, we don't need a grayscale because just how the colors look. Mm. If I want to put the shading a little lower than that. Nah. Defeats the purpose. So I'll arch it around. Yeah, purple does great. Purple's doing great for it. So I'm gonna keep it. All right, let's go ahead and. Maybe not good for the white. I might change it up. Put blue on it or like a nice pale version of white. Yeah, I feel like I'll do the blue for that side because it just clashes too much. The purple clashes too much with the white. So we're just gonna go ahead and change it back. Change it to bluish. And let's say we got cleaned up because you see it discolored it for the what you call it? Oh, did it change that center? Did it change that center? Yes, it did. Okay. This is what we're gonna do. Whoa, not that big though. We're just gonna hand do it. We're just gonna do it by hand. All right, there we go. Hey, Hank Frank, welcome in, welcome in. Hope you're doing all right tonight. All right, now we got that going on. Yeah, I think we're done with the shade there. I think. Oh, before we continue, we gotta draw Luffy's hat. Nice. Trying to go by memory of how the color of his hat, but you ain't gonna see it because it's cascading in the shadow. But we just want a nice look of it, just in case. And all right. I think I might put it above the shade. Yeah, put it above the shading. Then go back to my line work here. Let's take that out real quick. So we don't see that. And see that I'm glad that I did Luffy's hat in a different area. And I just want to make sure and be safe. Let's go back. Let's go ahead and take that color that we had before. Hopefully that's the right color. For this particular piece, we're gonna put it above. Okay, there we go. Nice little 40%. And then we take our eraser tool, go back to that soft, go to 30, and just roll center off. And there we go. Just a little small little thing, just small little detail I wanted to add in that. Yeah, just small. Not too crazy. Let's see. Okay. I had to make sure where was that. Make sure where that was. Okay. Okay. Let's do. Yeah, make sure to tag that so we don't get it lost. I still don't know what I want to do that background. Maybe try to mimic the background off the actual episode. See what I got going there. Then blur it out and stuff. I think that's all we got to do with Zoro. Until we get to the highlights and stuff. Yeah, I think that's it. That's pretty much it right there. Yeah, that's pretty much it right there until we get to those highlights. So let's go ahead and go back to the background. Let's go ahead and do Kuma. Oh, I forgot I'm still on the soft eraser. I was like, why is it fading? I needed it completely erased. Welcome in, welcome in. Yeah, there we go, there we go. Nice. Nice. All right, so now let's see what other colors we can apply to this layer here. I can do the little soft spots that is on his palm. I think it's a little too rich in color. Maybe bring it at no. I think that's fine. I kind of want to start back a spawn piece too. All right, let's see. I think a nice cream. With another layer, get a skin tone. And the black will just have its own layer. Can't forget my grays. And then come with the black. I think I like maybe right there. Make sure to save this. And all we gotta do is just apply like that. Boom. Make sure everything's filled out. And then go back. Make sure there's no leakage everywhere. And then we'll go back to the actual base and clear up some of those lines. Because if we ever want to get this printed, we don't want, like I said, remember, you don't want it to be seen. Usually, sometimes I'll just go back over with a black and just call it a day. That's why I always tell people I recommend people to do the base layers not as the character skin tone. Sometimes I'll get into the piece. to where I make the skin tone be the base layer. But because of situations like that where some of the colors will leak over and it has these little lines of color, like as you see right here. You know, I don't know if y'all can see it that close, but you see that little leakage. It'll be all the way around your whole entire outline. And so usually how I fix that, like I said, set the gray set the base layer to gray. So when you got to go back to the base, we got to go back to the base layer. At least you can do is just go back over with black, and then just whatever that cut, all those little colors that leaks on the outside of the outline, you can just go ahead and use black and just or whatever color that you use for your outlines, and then fill it out. That's another version of it instead of just doing what I did and erased it, but I only had a little bit here and there, so I just went in and just erased. All right, so now we can go ahead and close that off for the backgrounds, and then we can go ahead and start doing some shines to it. Yon yo, yon yo. Apply some nice. Let's go to a smaller color. Yeah. Okay. Round that off around the lips. I don't want to put too much. Yeah, I don't want to put too much of that. So I think I'll do it where the body bends at. So like right here near his collarbone. I'll apply it there. Right there. Nice little small lines. Nothing too crazy. And then I'll just tone it down just a little bit. Just give it a little opacity to it. Because we don't want it to match up with the scratch marks around his neck that filled in for the line art. I mean, I could erase it, but nah, we ain't gonna do all that. And we're gonna go ahead and do that for Kuma over here. Like I said, we still gotta put the shading onto it though, on them. So we don't ain't forget about that. Ain't forget about that. All right, let's lock that down for a second. Let's go ahead and get this. Select there, boom. We're gonna put that back in there. And we're gonna take this and put it right there. Got lasso tool. Do our thing. There we go. Yeah. Mm. Nah, I like the purple. I like the purple. I like the purple. A strong brother to that, and then there we go. We're gonna go ahead and convert it. We already have that locked. Oops, I didn't even know about that one. Lock that. Like I said, I'm still trying to figure out that background. I don't know. Hold on, let me do this completely white. Actually, nah, I don't want to use white. Even though it's a good mix, it actually is really good. But nah, not white. I don't think of other stuff before we use white. Mm, let's use. Let's set ourselves on a layer. Get down. And then for this layer, we can play around with it. Maybe green, just like Zoro. Just keep it like that. Maybe a little darker. I don't know. I don't know if I want to. Yeah, I think I like this. I think I already have an idea. I have an idea. Let me cook. Mmm. Mmm. Trying to figure out how I'm gonna put the. Put those together in a little area. And then we can fool around with it, see where the words can go. And I want it mostly in that area there. But we can play around by using the folder and just, I feel like, put it in there like maybe right there, but then it blocks out most of the lettering. I don't want that to happen, right? Maybe right there. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Maybe this is it. Is this supposed to? Okay, I was saying. Go about 15. Put that in the background, boom, and then. I think that's how you spell his name, right? I think that's. It's been a while since I knew. Oh, but I think that's how you spell it. Yeah, Roro. Oh, I forgot the O. Yeah, there it is. That's why I was like, I was forgetting one O. All right, now that we got all that set up, we can go ahead and lock all our other layers down. I don't know. I think I might put a. Let me see if I can put another. Let's use black. I think I might put another. What you call it on there? Some gradient. I'm thinking of just using black and let's amp it up a little bit. kind of balance. Then put to multiply. Boom, there we go. Bring it down just a tad bit. Expand a little bit more. Just enough to where you get that. Yeah, there we go. All right, cool. Slow that down. And then we can add our shine to it, and then we'll be all set. Go to our whites. Duplicate. Blur. Lens. Whoa. Maybe not that. Get an iridescent kind of look. It's chroma. Yeah, give that iridescent look. Ooh, that. You know what I'm saying? There we go. Think of what else I could put here. Maybe some bounce light. Nah, it just don't work with his hair. So it's fine. See if it might work for his skin tone though. Mm. I don't think his would be already bright as it is. I don't know. It's good. I was like, what added is amazing work as always. Thank you so much, Miles. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. You know, I gotta try to do my best with the work. You know, I gotta do my best with the work. I don't sleep on my art. I don't sleep on my art. You know what I'm saying? But I think we're done though. I don't think there's not much else we can do with this piece. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad it turned out how I wanted. Um, I mean, I did add a little more extra detail to it. I thought I was just gonna do Zoro and call it a day, but I added Kuma at the top because I mean, it's an extraordinary feat of loyalty that showed in One Piece. And if those who ain't watched One Piece, I don't know what you're missing, but there are just some important details and incredible character development with characters that you wouldn't even expect from any other show. Zoro just being one of those characters, you know what I'm saying? But um, but yeah, Piece turned out amazing. I wouldn't mind getting this shit printed and put it on my wall, but you feel me? But ignore my goofy ass laugh. But yeah, this was really fun. I really did enjoy it. Um it's just with this piece, I had it in mind for quite some time. It was just getting the time to do it. And doing these split slash bust pieces, it allows me to focus a lot on detail, and a lot of more creativity inside the art piece than trying to do like a full body kind of like situation. Um, but like I said, it's fan art. I have my own characters. I have my own comic books I'm working on. So if anybody wants to see like that extreme level of detail and work doing characters and landscaping, I mean, my comic books are going to be available. You know what I'm saying, for that stuff. But for fan art, I'm fine with comfortable doing bust split portraits. Like I said, you got something like Zoro, and then you have something like Naruto that I did and stuff like that. And then, like I said, I do got this is just a indie comic creator, Ace Blade. I don't know if anybody knows Danny Quick. He's the co-creator to Ace Blade, and I did this for his issue number 10 that he's doing a Kickstarter for. But like I said, I've been doing other stuff. Of course, like anime, I did Toby. I mean, I do want to do more. Not Toby. Toya slash Dabi. I don't know what Toby gave in my brain, but yeah, I do like My Hero Academia, so I might do some more My Hero Academia characters. Um, I think one of my extreme pieces that took me almost 4 hours to 5 was this Kirishima. That shit was a lot. So like applying the details and stuff like that. I mean, I think I did this on live. Yeah, I think I did this all on live. I recreated this piece not once, not twice, not three times, but four times. In my whole uh journey of doing bust and learning a lot to do with it. My line art, I was able to focus a lot on detail, like my line work, the coloring, the shading, all just doing busts. You feel me? So I always recommend people who wants to get better at what they're trying to get better at and focus on busts instead of trying to focus on what everybody else is doing, like full bodies and all that other stuff, unless that is specifically what you need to learn and practice on. But I always tell people, piece by piece, and it just shows how much level that you can put into it when you put into it. Now, if I were to do this, like, I mean, I don't think for my style, like I said, my style don't really have to go in that detailed, but this is like pushing it to that level of of detail of how I look at stuff and everything. So it really does come to fruition. You said I love the Devil May Cry you did. Oh, my chibis. Ah, snap, my chibis. Don't worry, I'm gonna still do my chibis, of course, too. While doing bust, I still will do my chibis. You feel me? Oh yes, I still do my chibis. It's been a fun process. A lot. My brother-in-law was like, "Man, you need to make these into a shirt." I would definitely make this Kratos into a shirt, hands down. Like, just have them just like and just have my own wearing my own merch all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? And I'm down for that. But yeah, we still do more chibi stuff. Like I said, my recent chibis was the Spawn. I did a King Spawn chibi, and then of course I did another Spawn piece. Kind of went a little bit different for it and focused more on backgrounds and everything like that. And did this like his cape and stuff. But I want to kind of like focus on the line work too, like the ink work and just calling it. You know, like I said, the inspiration that came behind the chibi was Scotty Young. I love the way how he does and design his chibi style. I've always wanted to do a chibi style, but there were also, of course, chibis originated from Japan. But the way certain people do their chibis, I just didn't like that anime version of look of it. Like I said, I wanted to where it fit my style, which is cartoon with a hint of some anime element to it, and so I like that this pushes the Chibis pushes out that cartoon a lot more, and then it makes its own standing on it. So like I said, I'm gonna do more pieces along the way of my chibis and stuff like that. Because I think I did the what you call it? I did that. My whole girl P don't like when I did this one. Rengoku and Goten Ace working at Dunkin' Donuts. You know what I'm saying? I had fun. I had fun doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like pull up on your ops because they're working at Dunkin'. Because guess what? They run on Dunkin'. You know, but I felt like this was fun to do. Like, hey, they got turned into a donut, so might as well make them work at a donut shop. What better than Dunkin'? So this was fun to do. I definitely laughed at that. A few people who, that love these characters was like, saying, hi, real funny, but nah, you know what I'm saying? But then also I did Venom. Hold on, let me angle it better for y'all so y'all can see. So I did Venom and Eddie Brock. I actually took this from a reference that they did a concept sheet for Venom back in the day in the 70s, 80s. And so I just did it and just, made it my chibi style. So it kind of like some of y'all might know the pose and this and everything. I just added Venom because, now that Venom has, became a more spotlighted character, Venom when he talks to them now, they bring his little head out and talk to him. So I added that little feature. But the whole entire pose of Eddie Brock is from an old school art piece that they did for him. And like I said, Kratos is actually my favorite one. I love God of War. I always tell y'all I love God of War, hands down. This was one of my favorite pieces because it made me laugh. And then one of my mutuals was like, boy, because we were talking about God of War for a second. And then we were talking about how in the first game he always called Atreus boy instead of by his name through the whole entire game until at the end. And then it was just so funny because people were like, and it was so funny because one person was like, "What's that art? What's that thing above the dude's head?" And I said, you know what? I said it's the R3 button, man. It's the R3. So like when you beat up an enemy and they get fatigued and they have that button above their head, he does a special animation finisher on them. And so I was like, imagine a point of view look of it of you're the Draugr and you're running away and you know that R3 you're self-aware that that R3 button is above your head and if Kratos gets to you and it's so funny because in the game I don't know if y'all played God of War and God of War Ragnarok, if you throw the axe somewhere and you start using another different weapon or you use the blade of chaos or you use your fist to beat the enemy up and they get staggered. And so when they get stunned, you can use the R3 button to finish them. And the thing is, when you press the R3 wherever through the axe, it will automatically go to Kratos, and then he does the finisher. So it's like it won't cancel out unless you have the axe in your hand. The axe will automatically come to you, and then you finish them off. So him just running after the Draugr and just like and the Draugr is self-aware that he's about to get finished. It's funny to me. I loved it. But then I used to like take serious approaches with my chibis too. Like I said, this White Rabbit from Devil May Cry. I do like to take a serious approach with it. I like to throw a little gag in there, but then sometimes I like to try, that serious portion of it where it can still have fun, but then also can still be serious. It can be taken serious for a cute chibi style. And my homegirl P was just like, like, hey, you got to do the White Rabbit from Devil May Cry. She loves that. She loves that villain, and I ain't gonna lie, I like the villain too. That's the reason why I got sucked into the story anyway because of that villain. What I'm saying, everything else was kind of a little bit of buns from that show, but I was very anticipated with it. But it was, sadly, I did drawn out here and there, unless this boy right here was, in the scene, because when he was in the scene, shit popped off crazy, So I never seen season 2 though, but I heard mixed reviews about it. But right, White Rabbit was like a great protagonist, and I always tell people if you use Alice in Wonderland as your trope, you're gonna succeed. You feel me? Because you have of course Alice in Wonderland, great story. Obviously, you already have the book itself, great story as well. And then of course they did, Disney did different spin-offs of the story, like Into the Looking Glass. I believe that was the sequel to it. Very interesting. Well, actually, matter of fact, those two, the live adaptations, was a continuation. It wasn't a new. I believe it wasn't new. Like it wasn't a repeat of the cartoon version of the House of Wonder. It was actually a continuation when she got older. So that was pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad it succeeded. Alice in Wonder is actually one of the goated live adaptations they ever did because one, they didn't remake it; they just continued the story. So, what is the common thing in suitcase in a black male bow does not work without chain? I mean, both don't work without a chain. Ah, you funny. Funny. Black jokes. But yeah, it was fun. It was very fun to do that. But like I said, for now, for fan art, this is what y'all mostly gonna get from me. While I focus on my books and my characters and stuff like that. It's just the busts, split portraits. I want to do sequentials. I want to go back to doing sequentials. The sequentials that looks like this. For those who don't know, before y'all go, where's it at? These are my sequential pieces. It's kind of like these, but I want to show y'all my biggest sequential pieces that I do. Um, I use the Majin Buu for example. The Majin Buu, for example, is a sequential piece, is where each of them looks exactly similar, but just a different character. And then I do that. But then also I do some that are asymmetrical. So I do like a mix of symmetrical to asymmetrical. So you can take like this Rudo piece here, where I did mostly symmetrical, and then he's asymmetrical in the piece that separates them, differently. Yes, again, I can't wait to be on your next live, and I want to draw him. LOL. Oh yeah, definitely. Like I said, I want to start live streaming with a lot of few people. You know what I'm saying? It's up to them to, want to, get started cooking. So we can work on a theme or whatever. But yeah, these are all the pieces that will be kind of in rotation of fan art. But like I said, for now, recently, I'm just mostly drawing what I want, um, when I want. You know what I mean? But commissions are, I always tell people, commissions are always available. You know what I'm saying? I might bring that down a little bit. Yeah, bring that down a little bit. So like, yeah, I'll just probably do 40. Yeah, probably just keep it at 40. I just like that. Like it was just too bold. It was popping out too bold. Like, so let me go ahead and duplicate this bounty, and let's auto to. I don't know if I gotta get a new flash drive. I think I'm running out of space with this. I didn't think I would use up almost 100 something gigabytes. No, I think this is like I forgot how many gigabytes this is. I'm gonna do a TIFF. I'm gonna do a TIFF 1, 2. So that's my second. This is my second One Piece for my new project now. I think I want to do Steven Universe next. No, I don't want to do Steven Universe. I do have a list that I want to do. I kind of want to do Rick and Morty now that they got their new season out. Kind of want to do that. Now let's record. Let's go ahead and get the recording. Let's go ahead and view it. I was kind of skeptical of keeping his neck like how his neck is in the show. I felt like it might have changed him a little bit, but I'm glad it was good. I'm glad it was really good. I'm glad it turned out really nicely. I'm glad it turned out really nice. Yeah. Let's go ahead and save that time lapse. But other than that, we did make 11 o'clock. We did about I think this maybe like 2, 3 hours. May have pushed 3 hours for sure for 11. But like I said, these pieces take about like 2 to 3 hours anyway. So, um, I am working on a Vegeta as well, but yeah, usually, like I said, it takes about 2 3 hours. Not bad. And like I said, I have a cartoon mixed anime kind of like element style. So, putting trying to stretch a cartoon to its level of detail extreme. At that point, you're trying to get to like full on anime or realism, and I'm not going that far. But I do like my style can just morph cartoons as well as anime to its own uniqueness. So I really fuck with that. Um, I think I might focus on a cartoon character. That's what I say. I might do Rick and Morty next. Um, but I don't know which Rick and Morty. But I thought I was gonna do like a movie. I like to do movie posters too, besides symmetrical pieces. That's why I say asymmetrical pieces that I work on because I think I have one that's an asymmetrical. I'm gonna show y'all real quick before y'all head off because I'm not sure. I am. Oh no, I am doing one. I'm doing a SWAT cat one, and it's somewhere around here. I'm doing a SWAT cat one, and I gotta I wanted to finish that one either today or tomorrow. But if I can't find it, because I want to go ahead and just pull it out already, so once I start it, I can already have it, for me. But I know I'm passing a lot of pieces that are to the example I'm talking about, but I want to make sure I'm looking at that one and see if it's in here. Ooh, uh-oh. I still gotta do Dun Dun on there as well. Still gotta do that one. Whoo, still gotta do that. Where is it at? Hmm. It should have been in the because what it should yeah, it should have been in that. Let me see. Let me pay attention a little bit more tight. Oh, there it is. It was just hidden. It was hidden right there. So this is what I'm redoing it though. I'm redoing it now that my style kind of pushed out a little bit more, but this is what it looks like with all the shading and line work and all that jazz. Oh, I delete the line work? Excuse me, what? Let me see if I can back it all the way up. I think once you leave and close the canvas, that's it. Oh, I'm hitting Control Z. Wasn't that? What? Did I actually? Did I actually? No, I could not. I couldn't have. Hold on. Let me see some guys. I couldn't have. Yeah, cause see, there it is, right there, smack right in front of my face. Oh, okay. I moved it. I moved it down at the bottom. So this is what it looked like. This is what it looked like, but I didn't like how I did T Bone. I didn't like how I did T Bone. So I'm gonna change up T Bone. Probably put his body forward. You know what I'm saying? Just straight forward, looking at you. You know what I'm saying? And the rest, I'll have the jet kind of flowing, somewhere like this way or whatever, here. And then I had the villains, right? Just two measly villains, just their main villains. Like I'm so lost in the lore again, I can't remember everybody's name. But I did the little the evil scientist guy that comes in. I drew him. I'm drawing him right there, and I'm drawing the main arch villain for them. Their nemesis. You know what I'm saying? So I'm doing him, and he has his whole body here and here, and then you got the evil scientist. I thought it maybe like draw maybe one more villain to top it off because you got three characters. Boom, boom, boom. But I applied it to heroes, then old girl, and then the ship. So I guess like two supporting a piece of equipment they always use, which was the jet, and then of course her, the reporter. I believe that's what she was, and then of course Razor and T Bone. So that's how it was going to turn out looking like. So I'm going to be redoing that actually to later today or tomorrow, excuse me. Um, but yeah, that's my like movie poster kind of ideas that I like to do on the side. My biggest piece that was very, very, very kind of like it almost had me like cry. You know what I'm saying? It was the Sun Jin Woo because I had to paste it all in black. That shit was dangerous, man. Actually, no, 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 no. I'll take that back because Stitch 2262 62626 was the only number that was like I think they said so it was Stitch Day yesterday. And so this was the piece that took me like, woo, took me out my chair, homies. You feel me? My back was hurting, but it came out really good. It was like, it's literally called well, it's called Stitch Space Chase, but the piece that when I get it printed, when you look at it in my shop, is basically called, yeah, he took the red one. So I really had fun doing this piece, even though it was this actually took me days to finish. This actually took me days to finish. And so, yeah, I may be fast with the pencil, with the stylus, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, there are some pieces that takes me days to finish. And that was one of them. And then lastly, I'll just show you the Jinwoo. But yeah, this one was very tedious as well because I had to work with a lot of blacks, and it was just whoo. But it came out great. It came out beautifully. Loved it. So hopefully we get somebody that want to be like, hey, I gotta have that on my wall. You know what I'm saying? But no one. Half of these art pieces that I showed y'all, no one has them yet. The only person that actually bought something that was really, really new and recent was one of my mutuals, and he got the Rudobis. That was the newest. This is one of the newest editions that I dropped, and he got this one already printed in his house. So he wants to get it framed. I said, yo, when you get that your frame, let me know. You know what I'm saying? I want to see what it look like. But yeah. Me, I prefer canvases though, but of course canvases are expensive as hell to get made, plus with your stuff. So I try not to lean towards canvases, but prints, this is easy affordable, for anybody. And I only charge $25 for it, so it's not that bad. You know what I'm saying? I think $25 is a good steal for what the work and everything and the details that I put into it and stuff. So yeah. But like I said, I try to add a lot of other characters and stuff like that. This will definitely be added into the story. Definitely, I already tell people the stuff I already make from here on forward, it all may go straight to the store. So when y'all be like, "Oh, is this gonna be the shop?" It's all every. I always tell people this is digital art, baby. That's the beautiful thing about digital art. It will always be in the store. You know what I'm saying? But I do make certain things limited. I do make certain things limited. So like, if I make 10 a quantity of 10, and then once it's sold, once all of it is sold, and then I take it off the shop, and then you'll just have to wait maybe a few months or whatever, and I bring it back. You know what I'm saying? So I still make digital art still be exclusive. You feel me? And just to let people know, like, yo, you can always, even though it's digital art, you can still make it exclusive. You can still make it a one of its kind. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't see the difference between traditional and digital. It's just I'm on a tablet and someone's on a piece of paper. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, they still hold great value for both. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So um yeah, but I appreciate y'all for joining in. This was fun. Tomorrow I will be doing sketch cards tomorrow, so make sure to be, in there, locked and ready and loaded. So we're gonna be doing spin the wheel, and we just gonna land on like random like genres, anime, cartoon, comics, and then inside those genres have different shows and stuff like that. We just whatever show it lands on, we do the character from there. So yeah. Oh yeah. But this Zoro was really good. I will focus on the matter of fact. Why did I take it off? Actually, now I gotta find it again. Lord have mercy. Where's that SWAT Cats? At least I know where it's at now, though. Right there, because we're gonna be doing this SWAT Cats. We're gonna do the SWAT Cats tomorrow. Definitely want to finish that. Um, but I'm definitely changing TJ. Hold on. Before I leave, let me do that. Let me do that. T-Bone, excuse me, not TJ. Yeah, let me just erase this part here because I definitely didn't like it. I'm not gonna lie to you, I did not like this part. But at least with this, I can just symmetric it, put that little symmetry in there, and then hold on, where's it gonna go? Am I on white or something? Yeah, I'm on white. Okay, and then probably put his face. Well, he has a big face, so I'm just gonna because then what I'm saying, it just gives that movie poster kind of feeling. what I'm saying? I'm gonna just wing it a little bit because I already know, they both share the same helmet anyway. So, and then let's go ahead and put a T formation in there so we can get a nice start. And then we draw his eyes, and then boom. And then, like I said, when we get the references, we'll get those references in there. But this is the whole poster. This is like I said, I like to do posters. I like to do symmetrical pieces, stuff like that, the busts, everything like that. I'm going to say that. But I love nostalgia art pieces. I love drawing nostalgia characters that we used to watch as kids. You know what I'm saying? I don't really draw nothing too recently new unless they're like, you gotta draw this, or you know what I'm saying, or Baze. But I don't draw everything that's just popular. I draw what I love the most if it's recent. Like I said, I like My Hero Academia, Slime, Konosuba. Those are my top three animes. Um, Other like cartoons, of course, I go back to nostalgia days, like '90s. I do want to start my chibi style again with Kids Next Door now that I finished the another Spawn piece. So I kind of want to do like a chibi Kids Next Door kind of like thing. But my next project with the bus will be Rick and Morty. But like I said, I think I might want to do a poster version of the Rick and Morty. So I'll have. I was thinking about it while I was talking. I was thinking about the idea, and I was like, maybe have Evil Morty on this side, or like, say for instance, let's do a little quick. I might as well do a little quick powwow. You know what I'm saying? Before we really, 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 really get off. Um, so at least I'll have it drawn up. You know what I'm saying? So I was thinking about. So like I said, we don't need our symmetrical because it's not going to be symmetric, so we don't need that. Um, like I said, I was thinking about like putting Evil Morty here, kind of have his face kind of downward right there. Just do a quick, maybe his back turned on or whatever. Just try to like, just see what's up. And then maybe the ship or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because it is a still an important character now that we know the ship can talk and is definitely sentient. You know what I'm saying? And we can add it there. Or the car, is what they call it. Um, Maybe put the family here. You know what I'm saying? Put the family here. Probably put Jerry over there, kind of like hiding behind Beth or something. I don't know. And then I don't know. Should we put Space Beth in there too? Now that she's in a full fledged character now, should we put her in there? Hmm. We'll see. Well, like I said, this is just ideas we spinning right now, and so I would do that. Um, what else can we put for the Rick and Morty? We can put maybe we can, like I said, we can put Rick here. Like I said, like I said, I just like playing with it, and maybe put Rick here, Morty there, maybe looking up, kind of give him a turn, like a nice little head turn. And then I'll put Summer right here, a little bit further, or maybe closer in, because like I said, she goes on their adventures now a lot more. So we can put Summer in there a lot more closer to it all. And then maybe put Space Beth. Yeah, put Space Beth here. Maybe Angler here. Like just put her on the side. And then maybe try to put the Citadel in the back. I mean, I know the Citadel doesn't exist anymore in Rick and Morty, but it's good just to put it there. And this is all going off by memory, guys, because I watch a lot of Rick and Morty, so I kind of already know what looks like what, and just can like not detail wise, but just enough to do what I got to do. Um, then I could put the finite curve as the last minor detail, and then just make it bigger, and then let it block a little bit of Morty. And then just let it disappear. And like I said, we got the car there. Boom, boom. And like I said, and we got Evil Morty right here. So what we can do now is, now that we have everything situated, what I like to do is just write where everybody is at. And then just at least the people. I gotta list everything, but because it's already no. But usually when you want to look at stuff, you want to make sure everything is where you want it to be for the people. And that's it. And like I said, we already just got the idea already off the Rick and Morty. Now these pieces take me almost close to a few days, like 5, maybe to a week, maybe even 2. That's why with commissions they cost a lot more. So I charge more for it because of how much detail and how much that goes in it with the ideas. That's why a lot of people be like, "Yo, just cook what you cook." You feel me? And I love that. I love when I get clients like that where they be like, "Nah, you cook because we know it's gonna be godly." You know what I'm saying? And I really do appreciate people like that. That lets me work and I just draw their favorite character or whatever like that in my style, and they just let my mind want. They let my mind kind of like conjure up the creativity to it, unless they're looking for something very specific. But most of my clients just let me cook. You know what I'm saying? you know the only critiques I get out of the commissions is maybe I drew like a hairstyle a different color or something like that by accident and didn't pay attention to it, and so they come back. Or if something was too small they want me to enlarge it or something, or if it was too big they want me to minimize it, like simple stuff like that that's easy to fix. It's not a whole like, oh yeah, I ain't like how this look. You know what I'm saying? So I'd rather take the minor editing things that I have to do, like making something smaller to bigger or bigger to smaller, or change a color, you know what I'm saying, or add on to the design. I don't mind getting, feedback like that from a customer, but like to someone that be like, oh, I didn't like it at all. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy work. You know what I'm saying? Because I always tell people when you look for an artist to commission, you're literally knowing what they do and how they do it and stuff like that. So you know what you are expecting from them, and as well as the creative mind. So that's all I always tell people, man. Have fun, don't die, and good luck. Okay, y'all know that movie, right? I'm actually about to watch that soon. But yeah, like just enjoy yourself. Think of ideas besides just thinking of getting a picture. So maybe, yeah, I'm not doing some big extraordinary, drawing a whole city with that one character looking over it type of situation. But for fan art, I do movie posters, symmetrical and asymmetrical posters, bust and splits and chibis. End of the story. And then I got my own comic books that I'm working on that will give you those landscapes, those fight scenes, and different other perspectives and stuff. I still do my perspectives in most of my pieces, but like there's Rick and Morty here, like it's a perspective. But yeah, what I'm saying. And this will be a first time in a while I did a Rick and Morty uh, art piece too. So I think the last time I did Rick and Morty was when I did traditional. That was a long time ago. That was when Rick and Morty first started coming out in their first season. And damn, they have been here for a long time. Because I remember exactly where I was living at that exact same moment. Damn, that was before my daughter was born. That's what's crazy, guys. Whew, that was before my daughter was born. That was crazy. And she was born in 2017. Rick and Morty has been there since then. Like, and they just now finally about to end final their their final season. I think they're trying to do more seasons, but I heard that the ninth season was the last season of Rick and Morty. Um, I'm guessing that's why they're going all out with the animation. I don't know if y'all can tell from season 8 to season 9 that the animation is a little different, the writing's a little bit better, but I think they're trying to push to get more seasons out. So that's why the writing feels better. I feel like the jokes are really good, especially with Morty. It's hitting there. Like the way Morty's um uh comedy, his jokes, how sarcastic he is now more. You know what I'm saying? If you've seen the first episode, I watched the first and second episode of season 9 twice already. And the second one's it's a little bit hit home. It's more of the story behind Rick. I like that one. It's one of those sad moments that Rick goes through as a character. And then the first one was about evil Morty and everything like that. That was just like about measuring dicks at that point with Rick and evil Morty. And it was just so funny because they were just like Morty was like, "Is this a thing?" when they were driving to like beat this cosmic entity, and Morty was in the back seat, and then they were like, "So, is there usually talking, or y'all just silent because I'm here?" And he said, "No, we usually talk." Even more like, "Yeah, we usually talk." And so, so that whole entire episode, Evil Morty was just being an a hole, just being an asshole, bruh. And so Rick got him back by destroying all his stuff. And he said, "This is what happens when you get so used to winning, Morty. You get to start sucking your own." He said, "I can't believe he tried to spring you around, show you his evil lair. Like, what a self-righteous prick." So it was just so funny. It's like I've watched Rick and Morty back to back, and I can honestly say, man, they did some great writing with the jokes this season. And the animation is just beautiful, top tier for what they already do. But it's like they added more frames per second to their animation, so it's kind of like it hits a little bit more fluently, and I like that. They do down it a little bit, like in season 2, they did kind of like push it back a little bit. But for those those action scenes, they kind of amp up the frames a little bit. I've seen, but yeah, like I said, I think Rick and Morty's about to come out to a really good halt. So like I said, I'm gonna work on this as well as SWAT Cats tomorrow. And then, like I said, we'll be back again at 8:30 to do sketch cards, random sketch cards. So, like I said, we're gonna be doing those. There's those random sketches. I'll show you again what they look like. You know what I'm saying? There's the random sketches we got done. We did a six bundle kind of thing. Like I said, Miles Morales, Jade from Jackie Chan Adventures, Rimuru from Slime. We did Andre from Class of 3000. We did what's his name? Maddie from I think it was called I'm a ninth. I can't remember, but he was a ninja and he was in ninth grade, and that was the show's name. And of course, I forgot his name, but he's from Hitman Reborn. And then of course, all my other sketch cards. I'm gonna show you the commissions first that I did for my boy Bane right here. So like I said, I don't do too many sketch cards because I'm working with limited colors. So until we start getting more, just more purchases and stuff like that, I can be able to put that money towards the my materials and stuff. But yeah, Roz from Wild Robot, Angelica, Reptar, Saitama, Judge Harvey. Oh, did I skip something back here? Hold on, let me see. Oh, no, okay. Popeye, Thing, Iron Fist, Man Thing, Pink Panther, Dara, Courage the Cowardly Dog, Ahsoka, Smurfette, Judge Dredd, Nami, Battle Beast, Anakin, who's in the back there? Oh yeah, Guts from Berserk, and Elektra. I think I have more, but I think that's all. That's all right now. I don't feel like getting up. If I get back up, that's gonna be the end of it. But yeah, man, all these cars, man, I did within in the span of just a few months. So this was really incredible for me that I just started sketch cards literally like at the end of last year, and then we got this much done. Plus, managing my digital art and stuff at the same time in my comic book. So this was really cool that I got this much done um, on the side. So, and I still got more cards over there too. I got almost about this much sitting over there, and so adding that, it would probably be about who wants to do, you feel me? But yeah, I've worked on these sketch cards, and it's a game changer. It was life changing, and I had the opportunity to work for to be a freelancer for Upper Decks and be a contract worker for them to make Marvel cards. But like I said, I told this story. I always tell this story though. But opportunities come knocking, and you got to be definitely confident. Unfortunately, I was going through something personal as well, but I felt like I couldn't manage those cards at first, which was a letdown. But like I said, something personal happened as well, which that even solidified it further for me not doing them. So I had to return them back. But it was a great opportunity that I knew somebody that got me through the door to doing that. And he wants to still, now that he saw me doing more sketch cards consistently now he wants me to talk to a guy at DC and do sketch cards or something like that. But it's not a guaranteed thing, but he wants to talk. He does know somebody in DC that can put me into doing sketch cards for them. So that's really cool too. That can solidify my artwork and stuff like that, in the community, especially like so I was surprised by DC, you feel me? Like when he said, I can get you somewhere in DC, I was like, shit. Somebody from DC? But I wouldn't mind doing some sketch cards for them too, I'm already doing art pieces like Absolute Batman. I already got Absolute Batman projects. My next Absolute Batman character is Harley Quinn. I just fuck with Harley Quinn for some reason. I just fuck with her character. Um, but yeah, that's that. But other than that, guys, I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good night, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.